Hi and welcome to my playhouse, and today we're gonna be messing around with NVMe drives in servers. I did a video where I promoted these little PCI adapters to put in the server, and I made a little kit and put it on my shop. They're all sold out. Some of you were very greedy and bought all of them, so right now they're not there. But I showed this one, which is a single NVMe drive just to put down in a PCI Express slot, and that makes that, well, in a server where you often have a lot of PCI slots, especially big 4U servers, there can be multiple slots that you might not be using for anything. Then you can pop in NVMe drives in there, and that's awesome. In the comments of that video, someone pointed me to that there was a solution to put, well, this is for an X8, but the last bit here, I could take those off and just use this bit, which is an X4, but for a full X16, someone has made a system where you can put 4 NVMe drives in there, and I got one of those. Here we are. Here is the package. Came in from China. Didn't take too long. Still took a long time, but, well, you know, some of them are faster than other of them. And we have some stuff. We have a lot of packaging, which is always nice. But here we have the PCB, full X16, like a graphics card, but with room for 2 NVMe drives here and 2 NVMe drives here. So yeah, I thought we should try this out. It also comes with some mounting bracket, nice black, one for full height and one for low form factor. Even comes with a tiny screwdriver, screws, and a finger screw. Awesome. But it's no fun to have room for 4 NVMe drives if we don't have 4 NVMe drives. So I also purchased 4 NVMe drives, also very, very cheaply of China. And these are the KingSpec PCI Express NVMe, and they are 256 gigabytes each. So yeah, my thought was that we'll try and put these 4 NVMe drives in this slot here, and we'll put that in a server and see what happens. That's the general idea. So I guess KingSpec is celebrating their 12th years anniversary. Yeah, not sponsored. I paid for this myself. Or Patreon pays for this. Thank you, patrons. So what do? I think we should just unpack all of these. This is what it looks like. KingSpec drive. I have no idea if these are any good. We will figure that out. But let's get them out of the boxes. These were nicely priced so that I could actually get 4 of them. Of course, I could go with something bigger, and thereby it would also become more expensive. So I had to put a limit on myself. As we are mostly just testing this, I don't really need a big drive. Okay, and it comes with screws, as you have seen. I've tried to manage these, and it's very nicely made that the screw holes for these are here, and then when you flip it around, it's offset, so the screws for the other ones are further up. So that's gonna work very nicely. So let's just pop these in. We might as well use the screwdriver that comes with it. I'm sure that will do just fine, I hope. I'm actually not sure, but let's give it a try. So yeah, it should be totally straightforward to pop these in. And I made sure to buy some that would fit. So this is what comes out of reading the comments. Someone is always way smarter and ahead of me and figured out to do something even better than me. So yeah, I really encourage people, if I do a video of something that might slightly interest you, make sure to read the comments. Some of you guys are really smart. Well, none of you actually suggested these cheap NVMe drives, but that's just me being cheap and wanted to make sure that this kind of works before I go out and buy like expensive Samsung drives. And it's not as if I need this, I just see it as a really cheap alternative to get some NVMe drives, some flash storage in a, well, like a home server. Okay, this one is teasing me. There we are. So now we have installed our 4 KingSpec 256GB flash drives on the card here. So this electronics over here is probably to split this X16 up into the X4s that is needed for the NVMe drives for the transfer rate. So yeah, there's a bit of electronic for that, and probably also some power management and conversion and stuff. So let's find a server where we can put this in and find out which bracket we're gonna need. So it seems that my awesome Lenovo SR650 is, well, already powered off and has no cables in it. So yeah, let's pop it in here. So in here we will see that there's a riser card here. Then there's an X16 slot right there, half profile. We need to figure out if that is a real X16 or if they have cheated us. There's another riser card here, but that one belongs to the second CPU, which is not occupied. So that is not a very good choice. So we need to figure out if this one is active with the first CPU, and yeah, I'll just check that. It should be on the LED. So here is the LED of the server. There's the schematic of the motherboard, and we can find this slot here that is there, and it says 4. And over here on number 4 it says PCI Express slot 4, and it's a PCI Express 3 X8. That's not gonna fly. We need an X16. So we'll have to use PCI Express riser card 1. Unfortunate. That's number 9. Riser 1 slot. Okay, that's a shame. So let's take this riser card up and away. There. Yeah. Oh. Okay, here's a great example. Both of these slots are X16s. This one up here says that it's an X16, but this one down here says that the slot is X16, but it's really only an X8, 4 or 1. So this one wouldn't work either. Only this one will do what we want it to. Yeah, this does really limit the usages of this card because it needs a real X16 slot to work. I have another example here. This is a graphics card that I took out of my awesome Lenovo X3650 Model 4. And if we open up and take this graphics card out of here, be mindful that this is an X16 graphics card. Oh, that came out. You can see the slot there. It's an X16, and the riser card here, it has 4 X16 slots, but they're all 841, 841, 841. So none of these are real X16 slots. So none of them would really fit this, and that would not work. I actually have to fit this way. So yeah, it would not go well in this slot. In the M4 there is another slot available where it would go nicely. It's the amount of PCI Express lanes that is the limit here. So they cheat a little bit and don't put in too many X16s. So we need the big bracket on this to get this up and running. So we need to put that one on. I'll do that. Okay, I'm really not gonna give this screwdriver a really good review. It's really sucky. Found that this one works a lot better. So, well, the screwdriver that comes with the set, not recommended. But we got the bracket on there now, so let's put that in here and let's pop this in the server. Let's see how that fits. Oh, wait, this one. It's also as if this doesn't really fit very well. It's kind of in there crooked. I'm not that happy about that, but I guess it will work, even though it doesn't look great. I guess it will work. I could then take this one-time NVMe and pop it in the available slot over here, but well, let's figure out one thing at a time here. Okay, now it's ready to be turned on. There we are. And we have a picture on here right away, which is always a relief. Let's go into the setup of the system and see if we can see that PCI Express port. That would be nice. Okay, here we are. Let's see what we have. System summary. Do we see anything here? It could be there. PCI device count 2. Unknown mass storage controller. That's the one that we just put in slot number 1. And then it sees the RAID controller in slot number 7, RAID. So it does see the controller, so let's just exit and well, boot Windows. Windows is on this. And Windows is booting from an onboard SSD. Well, if you haven't seen that, you should go back and see the unboxing of this server, where I showed Lenovo's onboard boot system with small SSDs that you put on the system board. We should have looked at that when we had it open, shouldn't we? We have the server booted and it sees a device called NE-256. That looks like our controller thing. I started disk manager here and it does see one of the NVMe drives here. That can almost only be that one. So I thought that maybe I would really expect that it would see all 4. Maybe does it need to check again? No, that didn't help. So let's try and make a petition on this one. See if something else pops up. Initialize disk. We're not gonna boot on it, so disk 1 is great. Let's make a symbol volume. 1 of 4, let's call it that. Okay. Nothing else has popped up. Okay, that's a bit weird. So I think we'll run into a bit of a dead end here. It seems that the BIOS has to be compatible with, well, splitting up the PCI lanes from the X16 to X4, 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 X4. And on these high-end servers, that is not even an option. If we go in here, we can see different options for the PCI Express ports. One of them is that we can select the generation of PCI Express port, although it only goes up to generation 3, and as standard it's on the newest generation. So yeah, that is all good, but it does not have this feature of splitting it up. And I did find on the supplier of this board that there were only a short list of boards that would actually support this. So I might have bought something without investigating thoroughly enough. Okay, that's unfortunate. I thought this card was a brilliant idea, but apparently this server doesn't do that. It's not able to split the PCI Express X16 port up into bits of 4, which I see that you need a X299 motherboard, preferable. They look like they do this. Also, you have to go in and change the BIOS settings to make this happen. But I have another little thing that I want to try. Now I do actually have 2 of these, so I could try and put 2 of these in and see if that works, and maybe we'll have more luck there. Okay, I took this card out again. It most likely won't work in any of my servers, as it didn't work in the newest one. I wouldn't expect it to work better in any of the older ones. So I'm gonna try and put try and put 2 of those in instead. So I'm preparing that. There, I cut the extra legs off that one, but I'm not gonna need to. They can fit in here very nicely, so I'm just gonna pop those 2 in. And we'll see if that works. Okay, that worked nicely. We can still see the KingSpec, which is the NE256 here, and the Samsung that I put in here, and I have just copied over Alto disk benchmark, so we can start that. It's gonna be a very unfair comparison between a Samsung Evo drive and a KingSpec NVMe drive, but it's what we have. Let's start with the Samsung drive, and it's probably gonna do fine, but it takes a bit, so I'll be right back. Okay, this is a bit of a surprise. Over here we have the Samsung 960 Evo, which is a $100 NVMe drive. This is a 500 gigabyte one, which is also important. And over here we have this KingSpec SSD, which is this one, and this is a $33 SSD, 256 gigabytes, and it does fairly well. You can kind of see that its write speed, it's almost 1 gigabytes per second, 960 megabytes per second, and read speed is about 1.8 gigabytes per second. Comparing that to the Samsung, which costs 3 times as much, also it is double the size, so that might play into it naturally. But write speed to that is about 1.65 gigabytes per second, and read speed is about 2.7 gigabytes per second. So we lose 1 gigabyte of read speed, and we lose about 700 gigabytes per second write speed. I did not expect this to be as good as it actually is. These are okay speeds. So I guess that's where we're gonna be ending this disappointing video. I am naturally not gonna be recommending this card, as it doesn't work in my servers, and I have no reason to believe that it would work in your servers. It might work in some Supermicro board, but well, I wouldn't know. But I was positively surprised with these KingSpecs. They were cheap, and they performed okay for that price. $33, I did not expect that for $33. So it was no problem to put in 2 of the 1 NVMe drive thingies in there, and I'm currently out of those, otherwise I would be promoting them in my shop. But yeah, do go check all the other stuff that I have for sale, so that I can get clean up further in my data center. It would be really nice, and it also helps me to get newer and more interesting equipment for my data center. And yeah, buying cheap stuff like this and testing it out so you know what to buy and what to avoid. So yeah, thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.